me move that so you can see me. So, welcome to Habits, everybody. I haven't been here for a while. This is my first time doing comedy here. And when you're my age and you get to say it's the first time for anything, it's pretty exciting. So, I used to hang out here with my girlfriends on payday weekend because this was the club to come and dance and have a good night. But I always found it interesting that guys my age, which meant anybody north of 40, never asked any of us to dance. They would line up over there along that wall to watch all those pretty little barely 21-year-olds walk to the restroom because they had their push 'em up, push 'em in bras on, skirts barely covered their rear ends. One of the last times I was here, there was a gentleman that stood there every weekend. I saw him. And he never asked any of the ladies at my table to dance. He was always chasing the little girls. And I was following a very attractive young lady to the restroom one night with the push 'em in, push 'em up bra and the short skirt. And I just looked up at him and he's drooling. And I went, "Oh, she's pretty, isn't she?" And he's like, "Yeah," like, trying to pretend he wasn't looking at her. And I said, "Yeah, too bad she doesn't know how to fornicate yet." That's what happened. You know, older ladies, we know what to do. But oh, here's an idea. This is the first time that when I leave here tonight, I will be leaving with a white guy, my sweetie, because white guys never ask me to dance. So it is a night of first. That's exciting. It's exciting. But why is it that men, you know, as they age, they become distinguished? And women, we have to worry about aging gracefully. Screw that. My motto is not dead yet. You know, so I take vitamins and supplements. I've started taking hormone therapy because I don't want my vajayjay to turn into the Sahara Desert. And what was the first side effect I had? Bigger boobs. Yeah, that's what I needed. So I have to continue to buy those industrial strength bras so that the girls still look like they have some self-esteem. And then the other day I went to the salon to have my eyebrows waxed. I found out that there was another side effect that I hadn't really noticed because I am blonde. And I go in there and I tell the lady I'd like to have my eyebrows waxed. She takes me back into that back room where you're under the lights. And she says, "You want me to do the lip too?" Oh, okay, I guess, if it needs it, the lip too. And then, so she goes back to work, and then pretty soon she goes, "I do whole face for 20. I had no idea I had a beard. You know, okay, let's do the whole face for 20. You know, it's good times, good times. Another thing that's really difficult when you get to be older are job interviews. They're tough. Now, I work for the state of Utah, and I have been there for a while, but if you want to do something different, you still have to go through the interview process. The stress it takes to go through these interviews. I mean, first of all, I have to figure out how I'm going to dress professionally and hide the fact that I do have big boobs. Because I don't know who's on that interview panel. Some skinny bitch could get all butthurt. No. And the men are just as bad. Because they're sitting there going, "Blondie, does the carpet match the drapes?" Well, in my case, it's a throw rug. It's called grooming, people. Grooming. But are there any of my fellow cubicle jockeys here? Yeah. Woo-hoo! Yeah. We spend our days riding our chairs in space, barely big enough to change our minds. You know, but, you know, it is really interesting, though, when you have to apply for a job with someone with an agency that you already work with, because it is top secret. No one will admit that they put in for any of the openings. But come interview day, it's obvious. All of a sudden, Joe's wearing a shirt and a tie instead of a golf shirt. Mary's sporting the latest version of the Hillary Clinton pantsuit. So we all know who's going to interview. But, you know, it's all good. It's all good. The last time I interviewed for a position with the state, I actually got that job I wanted. And now I have the pleasure of working at the homeless shelter. Yeah, it's great. I start every morning with what I like to call walking the gauntlet.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, some of my coworkers are here. We park our car a block from where we work. And then we get to walk up that sidewalk. There's always somebody fussing and fighting, so you have allotted F yous, F yous, F you. Not to mention, it's always an inversion. You have cigarette smoke, marijuana smoke, and the spice smoke. So, but all the time in my head I'm hearing, good morning, good morning. I'm so happy to be here. And during the winter, we get the exciting task of working with the families at the overflow shelter. And it's just a big warehouse where families are warehoused on cots. I always really find it interesting when a couple of the ladies, and I use that term loosely, are fighting about one eyeballing the other one's man. Because I'm thinking, yeah, because he's such a catch. You'll live at the shelter. I'd be pissed too. You know. And then you have the dudes that are like, I don't know why I can't get work. With my green mohawk and my hoodie that says, your chin, my balls. Why can't I find work? No one will hire me. Yeah. And my favorite all-time story is when you have one of the residents has an appointment with one of us. They have to bring their children with them to this appointment because you're not allowed to leave your children unsupervised at the shelter. And one lady, her little girl, didn't want to come in to she wanted to watch TV because she's poor. So we said, well, if you can find someone to watch her while you have your appointment, that will be fine. Oh, she looks out the window in her office. I'll ask her. She's a cool chick. She was my mom's cellmate in prison. Yeah. Good times. Good times. You know, but I actually love my job. I really do. But in closing, I would just like to pay homage to two great comedians that we recently lost by ending with Nanu Nanu and Can We Talk? Thanks everybody, I'm Suzie.
Give it up for Suzie. Suzie, thank you. For being new to the scene, she's pretty good, isn't she?